Saludos. Good evening, everybody, right here at the Tejano Time Podcast. Another great show for you guys right here this evening. Glad you guys can join us. If you're watching right now, share the live. I want to send a big shout out to everybody también that's tuned in over on Tejano TV as well. Saludos, and thank you for tuning in right here once again, the Tejano Time Podcast on this Monday. We got a great guest for you tonight right here, Mr. Roberto Palitos. Welcome to the show, my brother.
How you doing? How you doing? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you just a little bit, a little muffled, but I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. What about now? Can you hear me?
No, no, I can hear you, but it's not a clean sound.
Okay, give me a second.
Sure, no worries. So, guys, if you're tuned into the show right now, don't forget to share the live wherever you may be tuned in at as well. As to my co-host, Mr. Antonio, welcome back to the show, Antonio.
Yep. After a brief vacation, you can kind of say.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, between work and then some family. We had a loss
Yes.
of family también. So I want to thank you, Keith, for understanding and allowing me that time to be with my family and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
of course, work is work, right? But anyways, thank you, and then I'm glad to be back. And then what a better guest that we have right now, Roberto. Nice to
Yes,
have you here with us.
Roberto Palitos. So let's get started, man. Once again, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you on here tonight, right here on Tejano Time. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and how long you've been doing this, man. It's been some time though.
Oh,
I know that.
yeah. Well, first off, thank you guys for having me. It means a lot. Um, so I'm actually born in San Antonio, Texas,
Okay.
um, but I didn't always live here. As a child, I had two parents. They worked all their lives in migrant fields. So I've lived in Michigan. I lived in Corpus Christi, Texas,
Oh,
Jordanton, Fort Worth, Texas. Just moved around a lot. Um, in the end, I kind of value that a lot. That as a child, you kind of don't know. You just you know. I thought we were just going place to place. I actually thought my parents were wealthy. I was like, damn, we move all the time. We move all these places, right? But you know, growing up, it was just my parents just did whatever they could to put food on the table, and no
right, right.
matter where we had to go, we went as a family, and
Mhm.
that's kind of you know the results of me and my music. I got a little bit of culture from everywhere, so that's pretty much how I grew up.
Wow, wow. Yeah, Corpus Christi, my hometown, as a matter of fact. Yes. So I'm living in Houston now. Been here for, well, I guess you can say this is my home now. I've been here more than
Yeah.
20 something damn years. So, yeah. But hey, man, again, I'm right there with you, man. It was the same way for me. We moved around quite a bit when I was a young kid. I don't know if Tony can add to that as well.
Yeah, it sounds like we all have the same thing in common. I know exactly what it felt like, to be moving around. You just barely made friends in junior high or high school. You had to do what you got to do to get a roof and food on your house. So yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, for me, like I've always grown up with cousins and aunts and uncles, and they were musicians, and as a little kid, you grow really close with your cousins like they're your siblings, right?
Yeah.
Um, but growing up and experiencing, the way I lived, I think I was about 5 years old when we lived in a place in Michigan. It was a city called Emily City, and my parents worked in the migrant fields out there. My dad was picking lettuce and potatoes and stuff like that, and I still remember, man. I used to see grizzly bears and moose and elk walking across the street like it was a regular day and stuff. And I remember it very vaguely because that was a year that the movie Candyman came out, the first movie ever.
Okay.
That's why I remember it, and it scared the crap out of me at the time. But I was about 5 years old, and I was like one of two Mexican kids that were in an all white school over there.
Mhm.
And you know, when I would come home on the bus, it was just me and the other kid that got off, and his family lived in another trailer down the road from us, and they worked with my mom and dad and stuff like that. But That's what I remember. Um, but yeah, man, just growing up, just I really didn't get into music till I was probably like about, I want to say like 12 years old, man.
Oh wow, wow.
And this
So
this was in Michigan when you got into the music. Or you were still in Michigan.
No, I was already moved down towards back Texas. We ended up
Oh,
in Fort Worth, Texas. Lived in a city called Haltom City,
mhm.
and of course, I've lived in Houston too and everything. But we had a lot of family from Fort Worth, Texas, that still live there, and I went to Haltom City High School, and um, I remember, this is probably like I'm probably like a lot older now. Um, but I think where Louis the singer's from, he's from Fort Worth, Texas, and so like around that area, it's kind of weird how I started doing country music, so early in life, and then to see him where he started from, because I was like him, he was a rapper R&B singer at the time,
mhm.
and I started off the same way. I started singing Tejano music first. Well, it was more like conjunto music, right? But I would listen to Cornelio Reina and Ramon Ayala and Eliseo Robles, Vicente Fernandez, and stuff. But when I was in school, nobody listened to that type of music. None of my friends listened to that.
Right.
There was South Park Mexican and
Yeah.
Insane Clown Posse and Cypress Hill, and so
Right. Right.
then I grew up with my uncle and my mom. They were all like rock, like AC/DC and Leonard Skinner and Pat Benatar and Lita Ford, Ozzy Osbourne, and so I had a little
Wow.
bit of everything, from everywhere to grasp onto,
Exactly.
and I think, growing up as a kid, you don't say, "Oh, one day I'm going to be a Tejano musician." Like, I don't think any one of those artists said that. I
Hmm.
think you just start like loving music and the way it sounds and the way it makes you feel, that just like everybody else, I was in the mirror and making the faces, and trying to see how how I could uh be like those people, man, your idols,
Hmm.
your inspirations and stuff. And I actually remember in school one time I had actually wrote this song, and it wasn't my song. It was the lyrics of a song that I heard on the radio. And the reason I wrote it is because I was in middle school and I tried to tell this girl that I liked, oh yeah, I wrote you this song, right? They- but but they actually caught me that I was lying, because they were like, "I heard this song on the radio before. You didn't write this song," and I was like,
So
so.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and
No,
finish up.
I was just saying it was funny, man. Like, I don't know why I told you that, but that's how like I became a songwriter. I was like, well, if I can't write a song like that, like I got to learn how to start writing and being a
Yeah.
poet and stuff like that. So
So if you guys are just joining us, we're talking here on the show with Roberto Palitos, and check this out, guys. I mean, he's got some great music, man, and at that, man, dude, your voice is freaking killer, man. I gotta say that, man. I had to I
I
had to feel that.
appreciate it.
We got some people here saying, "Is that Michael Salgado?"
Nah.
Mr. TDK is watching the show as well. Yeah. So,
I was
um,
going to say that too. I was like, if I didn't have my glasses on and I was not looking at the screen, I would have thought, are we interviewing Roberto Palitos or is this Michael Salgado? Because have you ever been told that your voice sounds like
Yeah, man.
it really
And it and
does?
it's crazy because like growing up, Michael's always been a really big inspiration for me. And to be honest with you, um, I wouldn't say we're like related. But his son is married to my cousin. I was the one that introduced them. I actually had met his son Andres Salgado when I was performing here in San Antonio at Traders Village. I started there around 2014. Um, we met, lived right down the street from each other. Kept coming to the house, and of course, at that time, I was just barely starting my professional career as a Tejano artist and trying to get exposure and stuff out there. And
mhm.
and yeah, man, Michael was always the one that. it's still to this day. Like if I get ready for a show, like it's either Cruz de Madera, Agarme Compadre, or Otra vez a la Cantina, or something that I'm listening to
Mhm.
give me that feel. It's that, it's Eliseo Robles, Cornelio Reina, Los Rámbagos del Norte, like old school stuff. But Michael is one of the greatest, man. He's a GOAT. Nobody could ever take that away from him. But yeah, it's been a blessing, man. That people, it's a big compliment to be considered like, hey, you remind me of this amazing artist and stuff like that. And I've actually talked with Michael a lot. Like
Mhm.
we've had some certain conversations if ever he saw me in person. And he's always been very, very humble, very nice. The whole family is all the band members. Ernie is excellent. He's freaking funny. He's crazy, man. And Edward's cool. A really good friend of mine, Chris Arrocha, played drums for Michael for over 18 years, and
Wow.
his son plays for Michael now. But Chris is like my best friend, man. We're always together, and but yeah, it's a big, big thing. Like I don't want to say that, I've heard people say, "Oh, you're baby Michael Salgado. You sound just like him." Um, I had this lady one time come up to me at Traders Village around 2014, 15, and she had a cassette tape of Michael's, and she said, "I've never met you in person, but I still have your cassette tape." And I had to break it to her that I told her, "Ma'am, that's not me."
That's not you.
So, yeah, of course. And I was the one singing, La Cruz de Madera, like, and she thought it was me, and I told her, I said, that's not me. And Andres happened to be with me at the time. He's like, that's not my dad, that's my dad right there. And it was funny, man. But yeah,
Wow. No, but I mean, kill. I mean, I know you don't want to go. You're making a name for yourself. There's no doubt about that. But I mean,
yeah,
much
I
respect to,
would.
to Michael and his team as well. I mean, like great humble
Oh
people.
yeah,
There's
man.
no doubt about that. But you're making a name for yourself. That when we're talking Tejano and country, man. I mean, right now he's got. I mean, you guys got to hear some music. If you haven't already heard his music, but I got some songs coming up here during the show that we're going to feature here in just a bit as well. So, what made you blend the Tejano and the country together, man? Why, or what made you just
Um,
have a choice of a mixture instead of just going with one genre?
I guess I was trying to find I guess they call it your my niche, right? My niche or whatever. I guess I was trying to find where I was able to be at versus where I wanted to go. And
Hmm.
throughout my life, I grew up listening to, of course, norteña, Tejano, conjunto, country. My grandfather, his name was Hector Lira. He passed away in 2024, and he listened to a lot of like Alabama, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and just all these old bands and stuff, and especially like Santana and stuff. And I would always hear those old songs, and I knew them, like if I was the one singing them, I could sing them all day, off of
Yeah.
just a memory. But I started to make the transition because um, I had to learn some songs when I started getting out there and started performing, you know, for Traders Village, and I would get my own gigs on the side, and I started traveling as an artist, and hey, do you want to open up for me? And I wanted the exposure. I only had like so many songs that I knew, so I only learned the country songs because I saw other artists singing like Tim McGraw, and actually,
Okay.
to be honest with you, if it wasn't for Michael, he did a video of him playing guitar one time to Tim McGraw. It was at a concert, and I heard it, and I was like, wow. I was like, I wonder what it would sound like if I sang country music. And I just
Hmm.
started, learning songs. And of course, now you got your Luke Combs, and now you got your Parker McCullum, and you know, these artists today that have been doing it for so many years. It's great that they inspire artists like
Hmm.
me to do it, because that's the transition of moving the genre on after legacy after legacy, and generation, and
Yeah.
it's in order to just keep music alive. It doesn't matter if it's Tejano, conjunto, country, rap music. If your child, your brother, your sister, your dad, support them, man, because that's how a lot of us get what we have inside out in order
Right.
from keeping it in, and it's not a good thing, or they end up passing or something. It's just, music is there for us to release and love, and yeah, going back to what you asked, how did I transition to it? I guess I just had it in me, man. I mean, that's really what it was. I'm a natural songwriter at heart.
Yeah, and the songwriter, like you said, at that. So that's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? Guy's got a great voice, hell of a voice, and songwrites and doing
Thank
country
you.
Tejano as well. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Tejano country right now? That's something that seems to be on the rise for many artists out there doing a lot of country as well. On top of the Tejano songs that they've already done, these artists are actually adding a lot more country to their sets and whatnot, or even just releasing new songs and whatnot.
I think it's great, man, because like San Antonio is already considered as the home of Tejano music, right? The capital of Tejano music. But we're in Texas, and you don't have Tejanos without Texas, right? And Texas
Right.
is puro ranchos, country, So like, I think it's really great, man, because you have like some of the greatest that are from Texas, and George Strait, and so many others. So I think them putting country inside their music is it's just evolving,
Hmm.
and it's not just me saying like, if I'm this big star already. No, I'm somebody who's trying to add to it, and somebody who's trying to like see these other artists go and transform something, because us uniting instead of like, there's been so many artists that I've wanted to meet, to be honest with you, and I hear their music and I'm like, wow, I want to do a song with that person, or I want to
Yeah.
do a song with that person. And yeah, even Michael one day, I think it would kind of be like, because his, don't get me wrong, his voice is his voice, but
Right.
I
Right.
think if we were on the same song, people would find it hard to see who was who.
That's
Oh
why
And
I'm
yeah.
going like this. I was like, oh, I don't know about that because man, you sound just like him. It would be very interesting to do a calibration country. I really do like the way he
well,
does country, and of course yours is good too. So I think you're right. It would confuse who's singing up there because both of y'all have that big
well, well, Michael's voice is very distinctive, right? It's very, very different. Like, it's honestly, mine is like more like, I guess, high pitched, and his raspiness is like, it's defined, right? It's really, really, really like, of it's the only one like that. I have a
Mhm.
raspiness too, but the reason why I started to I have like a little bit of a country growl when I sing. Like, it's not like a yell, but it's kind of like uh, she left a note that said, "Don't cry for me." So that
Mm.
type of little
Higher, higher.
in there.
Hmm. Right. Right.
I decided to learn how to use my vocals and sing from my diaphragm and not mess anything up here. Only because in the country music I wanted to sound a little bit more, like um just different. I didn't want to, you know, because it's not, and I know Michael wouldn't probably have a problem with it, but the fans are like, they're diehard Michael Salgado fans. Like, I'm a
Hmm.
diehard Michael Salgado fans, and if I heard somebody singing a Michael Salgado song and they were just ruining it instead of like
Ruining
tearing
it.
it up in a good way, and I would be, oh no, man, like, but and that's something you don't want to ever do, especially like looking at somebody like him, like as your inspiration and stuff, and 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 I've heard him say in some interviews, about like other artists like Cornejo Reina and Vicente Fernandez, and all these other artists that inspired him.
Hmm.
You always want to do the best job when you're singing songs of another artist, and but I just wanted to give it my own feel, And that way people would say, you know what, you do have a little voice like that, but you also sound like you.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to separate myself. And but it's not ever a bad thing, man. I actually love it. Like I take it as a big compliment, when people tell me stuff like that. But
I
yeah,
I I think ya andando borracho and both of y'all on stage, you guys are gonna sound the same,
yeah,
But
that's probably, honestly, I think that's probably why, like, I don't want to say there wouldn't ever be a show with both of us on there. I would love to open up for him. In fact, I have. It was in 2015. I opened up for him and Ruben Ramos, and I got to perform 2 songs with Ruben Ramos. But I don't know, man. Anything can happen, I mean, he's a very humble guy. Of course, his schedule is busy. That man does not stop. He
Yeah.
is on the road 24/7, and he takes care of like an entire team. And
Mhm.
hopefully one day I can do that. To be singing 30 plus years, that's a big accomplishment, and those are really huge shoes for me to fill. And uh, again, he's the only one like him. There's only going to ever be one Michael Salgado, but that's why I have to make myself to Roberto
Yeah.
Palitos and live in my shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I can see this real quick, because you said, let's say you're primera and he's segunda or vice versa. Future, both of y'all doing a calibration and getting you guys nominated for a duo, because I think both of y'all together would be badass. He would be, on Michael, he's already done his thing, but you're rising, your music is badass, and I could see a calibration in the future, and you guys doing setting the tone in both in the Spanish and the country uh, world. I really
Yeah.
do.
man, that would all actually be awesome. I mean, but it just takes hard work. I know that there's still a lot of work that I have to do. Something like that does. You're blessed one day if they were to say, "Hey, I saw this interview, or I heard you on the radio, or I saw this, I saw that. I think you're ready." Like,
Hmm.
I don't think that would come right now, but I could be wrong. It just matters to the artist how much work you put in, and people
Right.
Mhm.
don't understand. Like, when people say, "Well, how much is your CD?" and I say, "Oh, it's $10." They don't understand how much money that $10 took for us to make when we
Yep.
paid $500 to $1,000 per song. So if you got a 10 song CD and they charge you $10,000, well, that's $10,000 that you put into that CD that
Yep.
you can only sell for $10 in physical form, versus somebody having to go online and go look for your music. And if you're not somebody out there performing and executing the way you should, you're not going to reach a large fan base. But
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
definitely it could change. It could change, something like that would be awesome. I would be very much open to it. Um, I think we would probably figure out a way how to kind of make it work, but at the same time, it would kind of be hard. Like, I know that, because I can hear myself the way you guys hear me. And but again, I got this voice from my grandfather. My grandfather, he passed, but he was, you know, a musician too and stuff like that. And he always had a raspy voice. And when I was younger, I didn't have this. But
Mhm.
once you hit that certain mark,
Right.
and
Right.
it started coming in and stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, that'd
Wow.
be awesome.
Heck yeah, there's no doubt about that. So we want to get some music played here for you guys out there who are waiting patiently. También everybody tuned in on Tejano TV as well. Saludos and thank you for tuning in. We've got some comments también that we'll get to during the video. We'll flash them up on the screen. We appreciate you guys out there. But let's talk a little bit about the song that we're gonna get. That we're going to play the video, as a matter of fact, right now. We're going to do the country song first, guys. All right. Okay. He's got a Tejano song también that's out on the airwaves, on the radio, and many others también. But let's talk about the country song that you have out right now, which is your new single, and you have the video
Yes.
that was released on that one también. That's out and it's available. That's how. What is the name of that one right there? Let me see. I got her. That's how she left me. Right. So tell me a little bit about that song, man. Is that something that you wrote?
Yeah, so I write all my music. Dad's house, she left me actually. Um, you know, when we go through life, we go through love, right? We go through heartbreak and stuff like that. And um, I know that when I see on social media about how I don't need a man, don't want a man, don't want this, don't want that, but women need us. We also need them, right? That's just how the word keeps going. Um, but there's a lot of women that put their love and trust inside a man that doesn't get that back in return. There's a lot of good men, great men out there that are willing to do that or have done that for a woman and just she took them for granted. And that was that song. That was that song. That's how she left me. Like I bought her the house, I bought her the ring, and I just did this and I did that, and and she still up and left me for somebody else, or she went on her way, or she didn't want to be with me. That was that song, that I actually went through. About 2 years ago, I was in a relationship, and it didn't work, and that's a part of life. But I had to put down what I felt in heart, on paper, and
Yeah.
and that's how that song came out.
Well, there we go. Let's check it out, guys. And we'll be right back here in just a few short minutes. Check it out right now. This is the brand new video that's out. I mean, you can check it out on his YouTube channel as well, right here on Tejano Time Podcast, guys. Check this one out right here. This is Roberto Palitos. That's how she left me.
Coffee cup still sitting by the sink. Lipstick stain makes a man wanna drink. She said forever, but forever's a lie. Guess she made until goodbye. Radio's playing our own song, but even that don't last too long. She left a note that said, don't cry for me. There's a road I'm taking where I'm meant to be. You gave me love, but I need to be free. Don't wait around, just let it be. Now I'm pouring whiskey from my company. Yeah, that's how she left me. Took her bruise, her hate, and my pride. Left a ghost that still sleeps on her side. She said she'd call when the dust settles down. I ain't heard a word from that town. Love like ours don't fade, it burns. And some lessons you just never learn. She left a note that said, don't cry for me. There's a road I'm taking where I'm meant to be. You gave me love, but I need to be free. Don't wait around, just let it be. Now I'm pouring whiskey from my company. Yeah, that's how she left me. I trained this pain for one more night to tell her wrong, don't make it right. But she's miles away and I can't compete with the dreams she had of me. She left a note that said, don't cry for me. There's a road I'm taking where I'm meant to be. You gave me love, but I need to be free. Don't wait around, just let it be. Now I'm pouring whiskey till I can't see. Yeah, that's how she left me. That's how she left me.
There you have it, guys, right there. That is the brand new country single that's out right now as well. Tell me a little bit about. Are you getting any airplay on country stations with that one right now?
As of right now, no, we're not. I've been trying to, get in the circuit
Moving
and
around.
yeah, and move it around, but we do have a lot of dates right now. We just locked in a big city tour, so we're gonna be
Awesome.
doing Texas. I know we're gonna be doing Tucson, Arizona, Hawaii, Miami. So we got a lot of dates, and I believe we're heading towards Corpus. March 15th, we're going to be in Cal, Texas. So, Cal, Texas, we're going to be out there at the Rail House.
There we go, man. Wow. So yeah. So I mean, again, you're performing. There's no doubt about that. You know, you've got you've got a lot of performances under your belt right now. Tell me about your first live performance. When was that, and how did
Oh,
that go?
man. That was actually, that was horrible. My first live performance, it was in San Angelo. No, it was in Monahans. And I was opening up for La Sombra. And it was my first time meeting everybody. I went by myself, man. I went by myself. I had a good friend of mine named David Lopez from Uvalde, Texas, and he took me out there. We met up, with some promoters and stuff. And dude, my first time singing, I confused I confused Un Puño de Tierra with what do you call it, with Cruz Madera. I I I I misinterpreted. It was the same key,
Hmm.
but instead of going La Cruz de Madera, I said Vagando paso la vida. And good thing the band knew what they were doing, bro, because they just switched it like that.
Switched
And
it like that, huh?
yeah, bro, I was like, oh my God, like
She-
it was horrible. And they were like, I looked back and he was like, the drummer's like, what are you doing, bro? I was like, oh my God. I
little
was so
chopped,
nervous because,
little
yeah, because
chopped and screwed on stage, huh?
yes, it was in front of a big crowd, man, because there was there, of course, to see La Sombra. And oh my God, I was so nervous because I told him, I was like, man, I need a tequila shot or something, bro. I need to calm myself
Calm
down.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's how that went. Way, but I mean, you learn from it. Obviously, you know what I mean. You're here
Oh
today,
yeah,
and
man.
you're still performing. I mean, it happens. It happens to some of the greats out there as well to this day.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen to some of the guys that are out there. Tony can vouch for that as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard
So
to tell whether it's part of the act or if you really just screwed up. But if you have the people in the back that can keep going, well, that says a lot for the band too. That
Yeah.
oh shit,
Well,
yeah.
well,
is he
well, the
testing
thing
us?
was is that I actually ended up singing Un Puño de Tierra, right? So I never said Cruz Madera, then Vangando, right? I sang the song that I was supposed to sing. Starting, I just didn't sing the song that I was meant to sing. So going back to that, I was just, I was nervous. I was just barely, getting to perform, in front of, traveling, and a lot of the times, like I wasn't really, too disappointed with myself because the thing was I didn't stop. I followed through with the
Follow
performance,
through. Yeah.
but it
Everybody
Yeah.
just
was
got
nerve
nervous.
wracking. Yeah,
Yeah, they probably
I
just like,
bet.
"Oh, this guy's got a potpourri and we didn't know nothing about it."
yeah, yeah, for real, right? That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I was like,
Hey, at least you got it out of the way, and like you said, you kept going. Didn't maybe somebody out there caught it that, oh, he just messed up, but you
oh
played
no,
it.
they remember. They remember. They always tell me. They always tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I reminded him earlier right now just by asking him that question.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
Chinga.
good, man. I mean,
So, Normie Luna, saludos, Normie. Thank you for tuning into the show. We appreciate you. She says, "Is that country music out?" Of course, it's out. It's out
yes.
on all digital platforms. You can stream it. Go out and grab it and add it to your playlist. Look them up. Roberto Palitos, of course. And you have the entire album, I believe, it's going to be dropping on the 28th of February. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Sí, el 28 de febrero. It's going to be dropping on all digital platforms, on todos formatos digitales también. Para todos ustedes, guys, go get it. It's going to be on Apple Music, Spotify, a lot of different, digital platforms. I even found out because my son is a gamer, and he was like, "Dad, you can get your music on PS5, right?" And I was like, "PS5," and he was like, "Yeah." When I'm playing my game or Call of Duty, he was like, "You can listen to music," and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know that." So now,
Wow.
guys, you guys can go get the music while you're, while you're
Gaming,
streaming or whatever.
streaming your
Yeah.
games, playing your games. Heck yeah. That's
So
pretty
That's
I
awesome.
funny.
thought it was pretty cool.
That's funny you said that. I didn't know that either. And my son, he's 13, and I was like, where's he getting that music from? And he's like, yeah, it's on my PlayStation. I've got my playlist. Like, ah, cabrón, this guy.
For real, right? That's
Hey,
that's what I
PlayStation
said, man.
times have changed. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's available on all streaming platforms. Normie and everybody out there that's tuned in. So go out there and search him. And again, stream his music, add it to your playlist. I mean, give him a follow on the social media platforms as well. Keep up with what's going on with him in the future. Dates that he might be in your neck of the woods. I mean, you'll be more than happy to go check him out if you're interested in his music. Yeah, that'd be great right there. I mean, so this album, Sin Fronteras, correct, is the name of the title of the album.
Yes,
How
sir.
many
Yes,
songs
sir.
do you have on that album?
So there's 24.
24
songs.
songs.
Yes.
I saw that earlier, so I said I'm gonna have to question on that. Is that 24 songs? Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, so that's a lot of songs for one album. Like you said, it takes a lot of hard work when you have 500 to 1,000 that you spend on a song or whatnot. And you got 24 songs on this album right here, and all these songs were written by you.
Every single one. I did all the music, all the production, the mixing, the mastering. I did all the vocals. I have a feature with a girl named Sophie out of Nashville, Tennessee. I was on The Voice in Nashville, Tennessee in 2020 audition, and of course I didn't make it, but I ended up meeting some people out there, some other singers, and get some contacts. So um, yeah, when I was starting to do the album, this album took about 6 months to complete. So
Wow.
every day and night in the studio and just you know, I think I was on Facebook saying that I was going to be releasing a new video every week or every 2 weeks, and I did that. First it was "That's How She Left Me," then there's a song called "Daddy That's Okay," and then I have a "Christmas Ain't the Same Without You," a song that I released for my mother, my grandfather, and my brother that passed, and a lot of other loved ones, and then, of course, our new video coming out is going to be a song on the album called "Quisiera Olvidarte." So that's what we're shooting next. We're actually already doing it, so we're just doing some different locations right now.
Okay. So we got the song though. We're going to play the song here for everybody out there as well, so you can get the feel for his Tejano side as well. He's got the countryside and the Tejano, so it's again he's got a mixture of songs on there, guys, from Tejano and country. So stream them, add them to your playlist, guys. But let me say this one question right here for you before we jump into that next song. How would you describe your music if someone or somebody out there that's tuned in right now has never really heard your music? How would you describe it?
I would describe it as, I guess I'm a little bit more of a personal type of person. Of course, I'm on the romantic side. All my songs are about love or about being loved or a heartbreak or something like that. And I'm not saying that that's not all Tejano music or country music, right? Because that's pretty much what it's about. But um, I'm more in touch with who I am through my music, and I get to be whoever I want to be on those songs. It's like a superhero power, and I guess who I am is pretty much who you're gonna hear in my songs. It's really undescribable. You just got to listen to it for yourself, and try to see what type of feel it gives you and stuff. It could either give you a good feeling or bring you to tears, but it's gonna make you feel something. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and a lot of these songs that you have written, like I said, the major, all the songs you've written, are these all from personal experiences, from
Um,
yourself, or just
the
you just
the
decided to sit down and just write some about other people's experiences?
the majority are because I've been doing this 23 years, even behind the scenes, of growing up with Tejano legends and artists and icons and people that I was looking up to. A lot of those experiences, um, being by myself, and so I grew up not knowing my biological father or my actual Palitos side of my family. That is actually my last name, right? But having my stepdad raise me and my mom and my brothers, with me, you know, I still had a lot of like feelings inside and I didn't know how to get them out, and music helped me do that. So yeah, a lot of the songs, it's, over, I'm gonna be 39 in April. So over 30 something years that I've been just holding all that music in, and that's what Sin Fronteras is about. It's not about, a cool name or something like that. Sin Fronteras is about all the obstacles that we have faced as a people, as a person, as a
Yeah,
generation, and no matter what, we're still here. Estoy
exactly.
aquí, we're still here, está viviendo con muchas personas y gente que les gusta la música norteña or whatever it is, right? We're here collaborating together in life when we're living life to the fullest under our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But yeah, all those songs and stuff, and that's not even half of what I still have inside or what I've written. That is just, Sin Fronteras is an album, where we've all felt or was in that place, where we never thought that we would get out of. A lot of people on here have said, why me? Why is this happening to me? God, what did I do?
Hmm.
But we're still
Hmm.
here. We still got through that. When we didn't think that we were, that's Sin
Yeah.
Fronteras.
Yeah. That's a great title of the album. And that album drops February 28th. So keep that in mind, guys, right there. It'll be available on all streaming platforms también as well. So check this one out, man. This is a new tune. It's on, Tejano radio across the board as well. So you guys can request it on your local radio station, internet radio station, or you can also stream it. It's available on all digital platforms. Quisiera Olvidarte is the name of the song. Check this one out right here. We'll be right back with some more Roberto Palitos right after this song. Check it out, guys.
Quisiera borrar tu nombre de mi mente y de mi piel, pero todo me recuerda lo que no pudo ser. Quisiera arrancar tus besos de mi forma de amar, pero hasta cuando respiro te vuelvo a maquinar. Me dijeron que el olvido se aprende con el tiempo, pero nada me explicó cómo apagar lo que siento. Quisiera olvidarte y no pensar en ti. Quisiera arrancarte de lo que queda de mí. Quisiera olvidarte y volver a empezar, pero el corazón no entiende cuando quiere de verdad. He cambiado de caminos y amigos del lugar, pero cada nueva historia me tú vuelves a colar. Me emborracho con promesas de que ya te dejé ir, y amanezco con tu sombra sentada junto a mí. Tal vez dicen que el orgullo es la llave para sanar, pero yo soy puro sentimiento y no te sé soltar. Quisiera olvidarte como tú me olvidaste, tirar para siempre lo que nunca cuidaste. Quisiera olvidarte y no mirarte atrás, pero al amor que te tuve no se quiero acabar. Si olvidar fue tan fácil, como dice que ya no está, no estaría cada noche rogando a la soledad. Quisiera olvidarte y aprender a vivir, pero mientras sigo amándote, no me sé ir de aquí. Ay, 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 quisiera olvidarte, pero no sé cómo. Quisiera olvidarte.
Quisiera olvidarte is the name of the tune right there, guys. Right there, Roberto Palitos. All right, streaming on all platforms. Go out there and add it to your playlist if you enjoy the song. Another great one right there for you, bud. Awesome, man. Good stuff. And again, streaming on all platforms and requested at your local radio stations también as well if you like the jam. So let me get a quick shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. I want to send some shout outs right quick. There's a lot of people tuned in here. Mr. Raymond Dolores, también Luis Garcia is tuned in. Rudy Rocha from the original Pride of Pasadena is also tuned into the show. Saludos, Rudy. Also, we got Luisa Garza. Thank you for tuning into the show. Let's see here. What else we got here? We got Mr. TDK, Gil Jimenez, también saludos. Thank you for tuning into the show. David Vela, Normie Luna is still tuned in. Thank you for watching the show tonight. Ray Gutierrez, Juanita Jimenez, Gilbert Cruz, saludos. To everyone out there that's tuned into the show. Share the live, guys, as well, man, if you're tuned into the show right now. And to all the audience on Tejano TV as well. We appreciate you guys for tuning in right here tonight. Our guest, Roberto Palitos out of San Antonio, Texas, sharing his music with our audience here on Tejano Time podcast. And what do you think, Antonio?
Man, first off, like you said, we had a lot of people joining us. Thank you to everybody that's checking out the show here with Roberto Palitos. Man, great music all the way around from your country to your Tejano. I know you said something earlier. I think you mentioned George Strait, but who really, or was it George? Or I think you said George Strait. Who really inspired you the most for the country scene, for the music growing up?
First and foremost, thank you for the compliments. On the music. I think my inspiration probably would have to be like Tim McGraw. Yeah, Tim McGraw. George Strait, of course. I really, really, really was a big fan of Garth Brooks and Brooks and Dunn, of course. But I can't really just say one,
Why?
because there's so many of them.
Well, that's cool though. You mentioned Tim McGraw because a lot of people right away, George Strait, and nothing against the great artist también, Garth Brooks también. But you're the first one I actually hear. Tim McGraw. I mean, like you said, it's hard because there's such a lot of good country artists, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah, Tim McGraw is just a great, all around artist. And this is like not to say like that's his only hit, but it's just one of the favorite of so many, right?
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, we heard the Johnny's daddy was taken in fishing when he was 8 years old. And just listening to that song, that song right there, man, like hearing it, I was probably like about 11, 12 years old when I heard that song. And hearing that song is always like, it's probably like one of the main songs if I were ever to sing country and not it be my own, I would break that song out because it's so sentimental and it makes you feel so many different types of emotions and stuff. That is like a all around great, great, great song. And to whoever wrote that song, I mean, my hat's off to you, of course. But yeah, Tim McGraw,
And that's also interesting that that song inspired you. That probably gave you the ganas, the animo to be like, man, I want to sing like that. I want to do something like that. A nice slow. I know which song you're talking about. It's funny how just one song can inspire somebody like yourself, an artist, to keep pushing to do something on the countryside. And I'm sure it's the same way for your Tejano side too, that there's probably also that one song that probably pushed you into doing what you do now también with Tejano music.
I think not that you asked me, but I think the song that was from the Tejano side. I think it was probably "Fíjate Bien" de Ramon Ayala. And that's the song that kind of gave me that feel, because I used to work with my grandfather, doing construction, carpentry, and he would have listened to a lot of Los Bravos del Norte and a lot of different stuff like that. So Fíjate Bien is one of the songs that was the first song I learned how to sing and play on accordion. So
All right, is
That
that
was going to
the
be my next question. How did you learn? And I noticed, of course, the piano accordion.
yeah?
That was going to be my final question. Is what? How did what made you do the piano accordion instead of the button
well,
accordion?
let me say this first. I'm not really, really, really great. I've been playing since I was about 14, but throughout the years, if you don't keep up with it, you got to really learn everything. Um, I'm okay. I'm more of a studio musician right now, so I play a lot of the stuff that I do on the songs in the studio. So I don't feel too comfortable yet to go out there and bring it out, and because of course, again, Michael Salgado. I mean, El Zul de Oro, the Golden Lefty. I mean, and it's weird because he plays that thing upside down. So imagine with my actual right hand. Yeah, so I still got a long way to go. So that I won't do that to myself. But the reason why I chose that is because funny story. Um, so I am in middle school at the time. I had just went to high school, and my dad had us in sports all our lives, right? So at the time, I'm the biggest kid on the football team. I really don't like to hurt people, and I was like, man, Dad, I'm so big of guy, and all these other players on the team are so small. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm not saying, because there were some
Yeah,
little kids that would play and they would hit hard, and I'm like, oh, but
yeah.
I didn't want to. I just didn't want to be in sports, man. So I left football for band. And when I was in band, of course, my first instrument was trumpet. Then I went from trumpet to sax, and then they had a xylophone, and I was like, I don't want to play this. And I saw a keyboard there, a piano, and I went and sat down. It was a grand piano, and I went and started playing. I think I picked it up because I already know the scale, top to bottom. And I picked it up because it was the easiest thing for me. Now, if you were to give me a button accordion, yeah, you'll hear like freaking cats scratching on the wall with that. And so, yeah, I wouldn't know what to do, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome, though. But
I,
yeah, I
I can
mean,
see I can see that relating from a keyboard and then jumping on an accordion. Of course, a lot less keys,
mm,
pero es lo mismo, and you probably picked up right away, making a couple of adjustments here and there. But
Yeah, I mean, and it's so crazy though, because a lot of people don't know. Like, if you were to pick up a guitar and play some Tim McGraw or Garth Brooks or George Strait, or whatever the artist you want to sing, right? A lot of the songs are in the same keys, same chords. So you really need like about 3 to 4 different chords for you to play a whole song,
mhm,
right? And with accordion, it's the same thing. There's about 3 different scales to use, and 3 different sounds for you to switch to, whether you're playing chromatic or whatever it is, right? So you can play like um, Fiat Bien in so many different ways on there, and so many different uh, tones, and but yeah, you just gotta I pick up the accordion at least an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, and just mess around on it. I just play the song that I want to do over and over and
mhm.
over again, and that's how I'm learning everything. So before you know it, I'll be out there, of course, and but it would just be hard though, because it's hard enough without the accordion when I step on stage and people are like, "Oh, sing Cruz de Madera or Palomita Blanca or whatever," right? And so yeah, you know, again, there's only one Michael Salgado. There's only one Roberto Palitos. So I wouldn't do that to myself. Like that guy is, you know, just being the greatest of the greatest, and he's going to continue. And but I again, how he inspired me, you know, and so many other artists. I hope to do that for somebody else as well, you know, and inspire them to follow their dreams, because it's really great, you know, when you have an inspiration like that, and really a very very great person to look up to, you know. And he's just such an amazing person, you know. He's so humble, and he you know, he deserves everything that he's achieved in life, and more, you know. So
Yeah, well, right before we wrap things up, I'm just going to let you seem like a really nice. I just barely met you for the first time. Really nice, humble yourself, and you just said the key thing. You want to try to inspire somebody else. So it was Michael. You look up to Michael in a way. So pay it forward to somebody else too, man. And then God's gonna bless everybody.
oh yeah,
Going.
definitely. Yeah, no, definitely, Antonio. You know, I'm very grateful to you guys, man. Mr. Keith, everybody watching. You know, if you guys get a chance, man, go check out my new music.
Oh, yeah.
After this album is released, my birthday is in April. Actually, it's kind of crazy. Me and Michael Salgado share the same date, not the same year, but the same date. We're both April 5th, so we're both Aries, and that was kind of crazy, you know, that we have the same
Yeah.
birthday. But
Wow.
yeah, yeah, man. Um, Everybody listening, man, April 5th on my birthday, I will have my country album called Uncontained coming out on all digital platforms as well. So it's going to be a lot of the songs on this current album, but a lot of new songs and stuff. So yeah, that song won't have about, you know, that album won't have 24, but it'll probably have about 12 to 13 songs on there, you know, hopefully.
And that'll be the country album as well, right there. So yeah, be on the
Yes,
lookout
sir.
for that. Sin Fronteras, February 28th. También will be dropping the entire album. That one does contain 24 songs, guys. Roberto Palitos. All right, Sin Fronteras. That's the name of that album. They're just going to be coming out again, or coming out, dropping once again on the 28th of February. So that's very, very soon, guys. So be on the lookout for that. The country album, like you said, is on the way. También follow him on social media. What platforms are you on, Roberto?
Right now, I am on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Everything is under Roberto Palitos Official or Official Roberto Palitos. You guys can contact me for any bookings at Roberto Palitos Official at yahoo.com or Voz de Pueblo Music Group at yahoo.com también. You know, hoping to see all you guys in the nearest city to you. And saludos también y bendiciones también para todos ustedes allá que les gustan la música norteña, country. Guys, keep supporting these artists también. But yeah, I have a lot of merch, guys. I don't have nothing out here right now, but I have my hats and, you know, some shirts and koozies and all this good stuff, guys. So every city that I'm going to come to, guys, you guys are always going to have something with me, and I hope to meet every single one of you guys. Thank you to Mr. Keith también y Antonio. Salud también y bendiciones para ustedes, and muchas gracias.
It was a pleasure to have you on the show tonight, man. Again, it was great having you to share your music, your stories with our audience out there. We hope to have you back very, very soon, también, in the future. También, when the country album comes out, we'll welcome you back as well, so you can share that once again in the future. Roberto Palitos, guys, remember that name. Follow him on his social media platforms. Stream his music. It's available on all digital platforms, guys. His videos, you can check him out también on YouTube, and he's got the new video that you're working on right now currently, which is Quisiera Olvidarte también, right?
Quisiera olvidarte, sí.
Yeah. So that's going to be out very, very soon también as well, guys. So yeah, give him a follow. It doesn't get any better than that. Again, thank you guys. Well, Tony, you ain't going anywhere. So again, Roberto, appreciate you, my brother. And we look forward to seeing you in the future también as well.
Pues muchas gracias. Thank you, guys. Saludos.
Thank you.
Pase buenas noches.
Igualmente.